So picture this, you're hanging out in Port Hope, right here in Ontario, about an hour and a half east of Toronto. It's another classic example of your quintessential, charming small town with its own history and its own stories. You've got these beautiful, preserved 19th century storefronts in the downtown historic district with mom and pop shops lining the streets. It's such a picturesque town and a popular filming location, as it's easy to throw up a few American flags and call it small town America. A perfect example is its portrayal of the town of Derry, Maine from the blockbuster horror films It and It Chapter 2, which they were in the middle of filming the last time we were there. And the food scene here is also fantastic. My personal recommendations are, you have to try the award-winning Olympus Burger. Grab a craft beer at the Ganaraska Brewing Company, named after the river that runs through the town, and get some classic fish and chips from Captain George's, and be sure to stop in at Queenie's Bake Shop for a sweet treat. But here's the thing, we didn't know this at the time we visited, so I don't want you to miss it. If you head just a little bit north on Highway 28, you'll run into Optimus Prime. I kid you not. The Optimus Prime from the Transformers movies and cartoons, a huge part of my childhood, a 26-foot tall robot standing guard at the entrance to what looks like a massive barn. No, this is not a movie set. This is Primitive Designs, one of Canada's top roadside attractions. It's a place that brings the world's modern, unique, handcrafted treasures from around the globe to this small Ontario town. How did a passion for global art and giant robots turn into a destination that draws people from all over?
Autobots, transform and roll out.
Hey, welcome to Highway Highlights, a podcast that shares inspirational stories, uncovers hidden gems, and unlocks a destination's secrets. My name is Christopher Rudder, a road trip, day trip, and all-around travel expert and content creator in the travel and tourism space. In this episode, we'll take a look at the early beginnings of Primitive Designs and how a passion for global art was transformed into a Canadian landmark. We'll follow the incredible journey across 11 countries to see how the owners build relationships directly with the artists to source one-of-a-kind treasures. And finally, we'll get into the story behind the giant robot and other bizarre and exotic sculptures you can find here.
It's family to family, artist to artist, heart to heart.
Yeah, I like that.
They can tell you who made this bench that we're sitting on. They can tell you who made this gazebo. I love this. We want 50 of it. They picked the 50.
I like that. That's JoJo, the manager here at Primitive Designs. So why did this place start? Like, how did this whole place come about? Like, why would you even start something like this?
So Ron and Rhonda, who are the founders and owners, and their son Maximus is also one of the owners, but Ron and Rhonda started this business. Ron has always been into art and selling art, buying and reselling art since he was in his early 20s. So it was kind of a natural progression for him. So him and Rhonda were originally owners of a bar, and then as 2001 rolled around, they decided that they were going to start Primitive Designs. So they sold their bar, which was called Southbound, and they bought this property, and they basically redid what Ron did in his 20s, because he would go to expos and take a lot of artwork that he had bought from around the world and sell it at expos. So they took that business model and turned it into a brick and mortar business model, and basically took that expo art sales life and created Primitive Designs, which became a destination. So instead of traveling around to sell his art, he just created a place for people to travel to him to see the art.
Okay, from a bar to a global art gallery, Ron's story involves him selling goods from a Volkswagen van on the streets of Europe after facing some financial challenges early on in his adventure. His partner, Rhonda Cook, brought her own 30 years of experience traveling the world, personally selecting every unique piece that would fill the gallery.
So he'd buy it outright. So he's never ever done like,
I see.
yeah,
Okay,
he's
okay.
never ever done like consignment.
Okay,
So
okay.
he would straight up just find something really cool in Indonesia, or when he's in his travels in Morocco, or, you know, just bopping through Indonesia or Thailand, and he'd think it's really cool. Think other people would think it's really cool. So he'd purchase it, and then he would sell it and make a little bit of a profit.
What I found compelling was Ron and Rhonda's philosophy behind their sourcing of art and artists. Everything is handpicked, sourced directly from artists, and purchased at fair market value, free from things like child labor.
It sounds like the beginning of like a HomeSense. Like that's what sort of like what HomeSense sort of does. But this would be more authentic, like it's more different.
And that's it. Where you know, like we try to not have the corporate model. So they don't deal with big conglomerates and big companies and factories. It's family to family, artist to artist,
like
heart
that.
to heart.
Yeah, I like that.
You know, they can tell you who made this bench that we're sitting on. They can tell you who made this gazebo. They know every single artist that worked on the dragons and worked on any item here. It's not that they say, I love this, we want 50 of it. They picked the 50.
I like that.
So it's a lot of love and care.
More personal, almost like the farmer's market style. Like
Exactly.
you know where the food came from.
Very
that kind of
much
style.
so.
Yeah,
more
yeah, I like
more
that.
of that kind of really close rooted with your suppliers. When they're going to the shops in Indonesia, they're walking into the shop, they see the man working on it, we know he's worked on
it's
it,
really
right?
like it's oh my gosh, so it's really that like personal.
There's not anything from North America here. Everything is from overseas, and it's all artists they personally know. Like they meet these people, they walk into their shops, walk with them, look at what they're making, and
Okay, so are we talking? So which areas are we talking? Are we talking specifically Indonesia, or is there?
We have 11 countries in store right now.
Okay.
So we have Indonesia, we have Thailand, Nepal, Morocco, Poland, Egypt, Argentina, Brazil, India. I'm missing one. I'm missing a couple, but yeah, a few.
Somewhere in Asia?
Yeah, there's a lot of different countries, a lot of Asian countries, but a little bit from everywhere.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Okay, so how often do they go back there and check in with the artists?
So they go every winter. So what we do here is we shut down Christmas Eve, and then they fly overseas. That's when they go do all their shopping. And then we reopen March 1st. And that's about when the containers hit the water and they head over to us, and then we unpack them, and that's what you get to shop every year. So we close down, and when we're closed down in the winter, that's when they do their shopping, and then they ship it all back in the spring for us to put out for you to shop.
That's cool. I would love to be at one of those sessions. That would be like, what's that like? I'll take one of these. This is good. I love the work you do here. It's fantastic. Give me one of those, and this is going.
Ron's bought out entire stores.
Wow.
He's gone into stores and be like, I love everything. How much for all of it?
That's
So,
amazing.
yeah, so they love him. They love
course,
Ron and
yeah,
Rhonda a
yeah.
lot because, you know, they and, you know, they don't haggle too much. They really appreciate that there's a lot of work that goes into these pieces.
Yeah,
so.
1000%.
Yeah.
So it's a mixture of getting original pieces from those destinations, and then there's also the mixture of them actually commissioning their own stuff and having them make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Like, for example, the giant carved wood motorcycles we have inside, the artist will only make them for us.
Wow.
Yes, so those we would commission because we don't sell our display bikes off the floor usually. But if you wanted one of the, you know, life-size wood Ducatis, we would commission that for you, and then it would come in next year's container. I know, things you would think you would never say.
I know, it's so weird. So if you're looking to get, you know, a Ducati commissioned or your own life-size RAV4 made, you just, you know, come in, let them know if you got the budget, everything's good. Make
Yeah,
whatever.
or if you need, you know, the, like, 2-story T-Rex on your front lawn, we've got you covered.
Can you imagine? Wow, awesome. So how how do you move from importing stuff from Indonesia and those kind of places to like Optimus Prime at the front gate?
So Optimus Prime's a funny story. Ron and Rhonda, Optimus Prime got here because their son Max asked for a robot for Christmas one year. And they had met these artists in Thailand, so Ron thought, why not? It was a good draw for the business, and it got his son his robot for Christmas. So our very first sculpture is Optimus Prime, and that was kind of the beginning of it all. So Optimus will never be for sale. He is definitely our pride and joy, but that was kind of the catalyst for the sculptures and how that all began. But it's definitely where they have their fun. That's their brainchild. That's where they do all their designing, and they get to work with artists and get them all built. So yeah, it was kind of a happy accident with him meeting those artists and his son wanting a robot and him having the property to display it.
Wow, so are those artists also from like Indonesia? So talk to me about how that process works, like in terms of you want to commission a piece. So
sure.
How does that work?
So what we would do in that case, we do sell pieces right off the property, but for example, for the new pieces we're getting built, which are all done by donations. That's why you see all those donations around. Mm-hmm. So once we get enough donations from our clientele and our amazing community, we will work with the artists in Thailand to get them built. But Ron and Rhonda, it's all their own brainchild. So they'll sit there and they sketch them out, and they decide a gear would look cool here or a hubcap would look cool there. They get it all designed, and then they work with this team in Thailand who sources the metal from all over Asia. And they fly there and work with them on the sculptures. So there is storyboards in the back. I'll show you some of those photos too. And they are hands-on. They make sure that that sculpture is exactly what they saw in their head. So for example, the Kraken, they moved the eyes on the Kraken about 8 or 9 times. Until they were happy. So there's a lot of passion in it because they're artists themselves. So yeah, that's kind of how that happened.
That's amazing. Yeah. Okay, so was Optimus Prime quite literally the first actual piece? So then how did that snowball into dinosaurs and 3-headed dragons? And I remember is this the one from Harry Potter? I don't even know. Like 3-headed dragons to the Kraken, which is a good rum, by the way. How did it snowball to all these other sculptures?
I really think it was just the kind of draw from Optimus.
Okay.
So, we had a giant robot in front of the store. It drew in a lot more people.
I can only imagine. It's like right by the highway. So.
Yeah, and so why not? And Ron had a lot of fun doing it. Rhonda had a lot of fun doing it. It was bringing a lot more people into the property because you look to the left and you're seeing a giant robot, you're more likely to stop. And they just realized it was a draw, so they just started building more, and then companies started buying them, people started buying them. Really? So yeah, we've sold one of the Transformers to Ripley's Believe It or Not in Amsterdam.
Is that the Bumblebee?
Yes.
I saw that in the video. I was like, where is Bumblebee?
Yeah, we still have bumblebees on the property, but the big one, he's in Amsterdam. But that was kind of like one of the first large sales. And then it kind of became a draw and also something that helped businesses get cool stuff.
For sure.
So it was really just Optimus brought more clients in. So Ron and Rhonda thought, let's build more of the clients like them. And then the clients started buying them.
So if someone bought this dinosaur, how in the hell are you shipping this to Amsterdam?
Yes, so it's a lot of hands on deck.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But usually people who purchase them, they're able to kind of deal with the delivery and everything. Okay. So for example, we sold a large rhino to a company in Tennessee. So they just showed up with a really large flatbed truck, and then we just loaded up there. But when they're really big items, some of them actually come into pieces. So you can see that there's actually seams on some of them. Okay. So it's like just the body, and then the head's a separate piece and the legs are another piece. Okay. So we'll get like a crane operator in here. They'll crane the large piece in, and then we'll drop it down on the legs. Gosh. So I always say it's basically like the coolest giant Lego you can imagine.
Yeah.
Because that's all it is. You're kind of just fitting it all together. So.
Absolutely crazy.
It is.
Okay, so how long and what goes into, I understand the sculpturing and the drawing it, I get that piece, they're artists, so they design everything. Mm-hmm. So what goes into actually building it and putting it together, and how long does that usually take?
It depends on the size of the piece. So like if you're looking for like one of the wall mounted moose heads, those are probably only, maybe a couple months for the artist to work on. But the larger items, you're looking at 8 months to a year, if not over a year.
Right.
Just because of the detail work and the size. And obviously the design matters a lot. More detail is going to take more time, less detail, like less time, but on average about a year.
Wow. And I mean, you probably don't want to disclose like numbers, but like, let's say I wanted to buy this. How much would that
Absolutely, I'll
cost?
disclose numbers because we actually have our T-Rex out front on sale for just $20,000.
Oh, that's it? Okay. Okay, let's check the budget. Should be not a problem.
Yeah, like just let me know which truck's yours. We'll get it in there right now. We'll send you home with the head today.
Can you fit it in the back of the RAV4? Okay. All right. No, that's cool. Okay. And so like, and in terms of the material, I get that it's metal. So where are you getting all the material from?
The metal is all scrap metal that's sourced from all over Asia.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. Oh my gosh. This is so cool. Do you guys work with the community here? Do you do
Very
stuff?
big part of the community. We're
Nice.
a huge draw for Port Hope, which helps with, just the town's tourism and everything. But we really believe in supporting our fellow businesses as well, as they do us. So we love to send people over to Farmer Deb at Hope. Go have a sandwich at the Pulse Cafe. Go stop at Olympus Burger. We really like to kind of encourage people to come visit us, come back to our community, and come see all the other amazing businesses in the community.
Forth, yeah.
It's not just Primitive Designs, Port Hope. It's Port Hope and Primitive Designs and all the other amazing things around us.
I love it. I love it.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the community. We want to support the community because they support us.
1000%.
It's the same way that they support the world, right?
Nice.
If you go to our website, you can see photos of Ron, Rhonda, and Max helping out, feeding kids and helping build schools and doing all that they can. It's not about just traveling the world and appreciating the art, but it's about traveling the world and appreciating what the world has given them as well, right?
Yeah, I love that.
So yeah, they're wonderful people, and I think that's the biggest thing here is our customers come in and they say it's that atmosphere. There's something about the atmosphere here. And I really have to attribute that to the owners. I have to attribute it to Ron, Rhonda, and Maximus.
Makes sense.
It's not just their appreciation of art and artists, it's their appreciation of the world and culture and people. And I really think beyond the gallery itself, that's what makes this place.
Nice.
You lead by example and you implement what you believe in. And that's why they've created such a successful, wonderful business, because they're successful, wonderful people.
Yep.
I think it's a wonderful place. Everyone should come and visit us and come and meet them and see all the art.
I agree. And Olympus Burger is really good, by the way. Remember we ate there. Okay, so what's your final message? What do you love the most about working here?
Well, Primitive Designs has been my favorite store since I was 14. So, and
so
I'm
literally...
35 now. So I told my mom when I was 14 years old that I'm going to be the manager at Primitive Designs someday. So it has always been a plan for me to work here. So for me, it's a pride and joy. And I just want people to come and see it and love it as much as I do. I'm lucky to work here. I'm lucky to meet all the people that come here. And I'm just excited to meet every other person that's going to come here and see all the smiles that this place brings.
Wow. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to chat with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for coming by.
No worries.
From a young man selling goods from a Volkswagen van to a 26-foot robot that greets visitors today, Primitive Designs is a testament to passion, global discovery, and an enduring family legacy. A huge thank you to JoJo for sharing the incredible story of Primitive Designs. For anyone wanting to experience this for themselves, you can find them online at primitivedesignscanada.com. But we'll include all of that info as well as tons of pictures on a Substack post for this episode, so be sure to join us over on Substack at Highway Highlights. The link will be in the description. My friends, this episode marks the end of season 1, and honestly, after hosting travel horror stories during the pandemic and co-hosting Road Trip Ready, when video podcasting became an option on YouTube, the place where I originally started telling travel stories, I figured, as an experiment, I'd merge these two mediums. When episode 2, Discovering Indigeneity Through Chocolate with Chef Tammy Mackey, won second place for the Best Indigenous Experience in Canada Story Award at the Travel Media Association of Canada Conference, I realized that maybe I was onto something. Unfortunately, I wasn't prepared and episodes weren't released consistently. So, we'll be taking a break from releasing episodes, but believe me, we've got so many great stories that we're working on that we can't wait to share with you late fall, early spring. From the miracles of the Ostrog Monastery in Montenegro to living off the land at Kanayushik culture camps and the untold story of Nikola Tesla, the boy genius before Elon Musk's company, to loads of purposeful, inspirational travel stories from my friends and colleagues. Please join our Substack so you know when we're back. The link is in the description.
You're listening to the Highway Highlights Podcast, an audio-video podcast about purposeful travel, sharing inspirational stories, and unlocking a destination's secrets.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me. We'll be traveling again soon, and I'll look for you then. Cheers.